Thank you for coming back for the final episode of the 2023 Coast to Coast Travel Adventure. We had a great time last year visiting many places in the United States. We started recording the trip once we arrived in Georgia from Miami to visit my friend Scott and his family that rented a cabin in the woods. It was our first night on the road and the first night sleeping in the Model Y after lifting it and setting it up for mild off-roading. We left Georgia on the way to the West Coast. While on the road, we had an amazing time. We cooked meals in odd places, camped in a forest in Arkansas, and also in a traditional campground. We made it to the biggest Tesla meetup in the world, the Tesla Takeover in San Luis Obispo, California, and spent 2 amazing days with thousands of people from the community. After the event, we went on adventures with friends Jimmy, Kyle, and Sandro. We visited a beautiful mountain in Santa Margarita, California, had fun driving on the sand dunes at Pismo Beach, and almost got in trouble at a spooky forest where the damaged trails forced us to turn around. After camping that night, we spent a day at the Yosemite National Forest and then camped out at the Obsidian Dome Mountain. We parted ways with our friends to start heading home and ended up at the canyons in Utah where we camped out under the stars and spent 2 days driving around in trails that looked like we were in another planet. After Utah, we started running against the clock to go back home. We got better at finding remote places to camp out, and after a few nights on the road and with nature, we made it back to Florida. Well, finally we made it to our home state. We're in the state of Florida. We just crossed in. There behind me is the proof at the Florida Welcome Center, and it's been 18 or 19 days that we've been on the road. So we've seen many places, just the first few places before the rest of the journeys that we're going to plan. So we're going to keep trying to find one more forest, one more fun place to stay. Yeah, it's been quite a trip. That night, we stayed at a rest area, and in the morning we found a campground at the Ocala National Forest. Unfortunately, the audio from the video here is bad, but I'm essentially talking about the setup at the campground using their RV connections for water and electricity, which essentially made the stay free since I was able to charge to full overnight. We enjoyed the fresh water at the Salt Springs recreation area at the campground, which was clean and peaceful during the day and loud with cicadas at night. In the morning, I was able to work from there using my Starlink satellite internet dish. Then, we checked out, and instead of going straight home, we decided to go watch a rocket launch at Cape Canaveral to wrap up the trip. We're now leaving the Salt Springs here in the Ocala National Forest, heading back home, but we're gonna make another stop. This one's gonna be at Cape Canaveral's, Titusville on the Space Coast to watch a SpaceX rocket launch at night at 10 p.m. It's gonna take us about 2 hours to get there, and we're gonna pick a spot, we're gonna camp on it, and wait for the rocket launch, and maybe we drive home tonight or in the morning. We'll see. Hey, I hope the wind is not too strong for this. I have a little cover on the microphone, but there's a chance it's gonna be noisy, so apologies for that. We are now in Titusville in front of NASA's Launchpad 40, where tonight there's gonna be a rocket launch from SpaceX. They're launching 22 Starlink version 2 satellites, and it has already been pushed to 30 minutes past midnight. It was scheduled for 10 p.m. It's now about 8:30, but we're gonna wait it out to see before we leave home. We're gonna try to see if we can watch the rocket launch. And behind me, the red Model Y performance that you see there is from one of our friends from the Tesla community that drove all the way from Canada. And he's traveling with his family from Canada all over the United States. And he saw that we were gonna be here watching the rocket launch, so they decided to swing by. They're gonna try to stay and watch it with us. So we're now just gonna wait. I'm gonna put the camera facing the shore where you can see the vehicle assembly building from NASA over there. And from there, we're just gonna wait it out, see if it happens. If it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. It happens very often. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I think this is the perfect way to finish this video. We are right now at our local campground in a park called Markham, and I thought it was the most appropriate place to end it because this represents pretty much the places we went to. It's a good place to spend some time with friends and family, and I would really also like to thank everyone that has, in one way or another, helped us during this trip. Our supporters that stayed with us along the way, some new ones that started supporting us while we were already on this trip, and definitely the new friendships. There were so many that I really can't mention everyone, but know that we have you all in our hearts, in our minds, and we are definitely looking forward to the next adventure, which hopefully is gonna happen sometime soon. So with that, I leave you, and I hope that you're having a great day, afternoon or evening, wherever you are. And don't forget that if you're on a Tesla and you're with a community, you're always going to have a family. So thanks for watching, and I hope I see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.